Hi and welcome to Mustad Live. I'm Aksel and tonight we are gonna do some make it fit concave. Concave steel comes like this. It's a ready-made section for making horseshoes, and it is a bit tricky, but it's really good to practice on concave. Because what we learn while we're doing making concave shoes, we're learning to fit and we're learning to bend and not necessarily forge material. The best thing with a concave, for the concave shoes, is for traction. It's a traction shoe, a concave shoe. So now it's the season up in the mountains. The horses are up in the mountains. They are going out. They are doing trekking. They are our horses are doing a bit of herding, and we need traction on rocks, on turf, and pretty much any conditions we are riding in. So concave and concave shoes is a very British thing. So it took me a long time to get used to it because I wasn't brought up on it, as a lot of British farriers are. So I needed to break it down to understand how it works. So we're gonna have a little bit of a theory session first. This is my drawing of a concave section. This will be the inside concave, and this is the outside. You can see that it's leaning a little bit, maybe a bit less than this drawing. And see here, it's not straight down, but it has a slight little radius here. This radius, at this point, exactly there and there, if we draw a line through that, you can see that this is exactly in the middle of the solid bit of the section. So here, if you can see it, if you get a close up, you can see this point and this point. Draw a line, and that is in the middle of the solid section. So when we are bending this, this is the bit we are bending. So don't mind the concave raised bit. Just think about the flat bit there, the solid bit. That is what we are bending. Because one of the issues with concave and concave forging is that it twists, and I'm going to show you when we start to make it, start to bend it, how we can avoid that twisting. We're also going to look into how we're making heels and obviously how we are fitting. Okay, let's go to the horse, and I must say, like, I had a couple of previous lives where I've been walking in the cold and we've been trimming young horses outside under various conditions. Before you start commenting on this, I would say it's normally not how I work. Normally I like to have a flat floor, solid floor, out of the sun, with no flies, and but these are my own horses, so gotta work with what I got. I prepped the foot first. I cleaned out the frog and the sole, but I didn't do a lot. I like to keep it. This protects the foot, especially when we're going in the mountains or rocks. It's important not to take off too much. So I did a normal trim. Kept a bit of foot, as I said, but still. This is the highest, like the wall is the highest bit, and I did shape it up. Not a lot, it's got a good shape, so just made it a bit more fluent. Okay, we're gonna measure now. I'm just gonna get my ruler. Okay. Let's see. There is loads of different ways of doing it, and as long as you do have your own way and you're consistent with the way you're measuring, that's fine. I do it this way. I measure from the toe, middle of the toe, and back to the heel where I want the shoe. Not where the foot is, but where I want the shoe to come. And there, that is 12.8. I also measure the inside, because sometimes the inside is a little bit shorter
So we go there, and that'll be about 12.3 centimeters, and the average between there, that's about 12.5. So I'm not really good at math, and at least I'm not very good at remembering numbers for very long. So what I do is that I put the ruler on, and I put this on 12.5 there centimeters, and then I measure across, and I don't have to add it up, and then we are on 25. So this is the hoof measure, it's 25, and then we are adding on for the section, and I would say on this size of foot I'm adding on 5 centimeters, that'll be 2 inches, so we'll end up about 30 centimeters. That's just under 12 inches, isn't it? Okay, got a nice even heat. It's important to know which way I'm going to bend it so I can take it out of the fire without changing the grip. Straight down there, right outside there, and I'm hitting on about the third of the material. And now, to avoid twisting it like that, it's important to keep in contact with the anvil at the precise same place, and also to hit exactly here at that point that I showed you on the drawing. If I do that, it won't twist. Most of the shape of the shoe is in the toe bend, so take your time. Try to remember the trim. Okay. Now I got a slight little twist there now, so I'm going to correct that. And when I'm flattening it out, I'm not really flattening, I'm more like bending the section back. Because if you're flattening concave, you're just distorting it. You're not really flattening it. Okay. My stamp here now. I put in the, you see the shape a little bit more open in the outside toe. So that's the shape of the foot. Put that on there. We want the first nail to come just on that line. Yeah. And the other one about there. And I'm going to show you a little trick here. I'm going to mark that briefly, because I don't have a divider now. So normally you would like, okay, I put the nail holes in approximately where I want them, and then I use the divider to try to make it more accurate. But when I don't have that, I can use the ruler, but then I measure from the end and up. And this one, this is the outside, and that is 11.4. And as I remember, the inside is 5 millimeters shorter, so that means that this is going to be 10.9 there. Is that right? No, that's not right. That's it. Yeah, 11.5, and that's going to be 11 there. Now, yeah, must be. I said, math is not my strength, is it? That looks about right. Yeah. Mark it in there. And again. Now we are gonna forge the heel, and what I would like you to remember now is that it's 4 corners, and we're gonna bring all the corners to the center of the stock. So I start on the outside, and I bring in that corner in. Now I'm bringing this corner in here. That needs to be to the center. As you can see here, that is the center of stock. Then I do from the other side. one. Do this towards the center. And now I'm doing this corner. And you can see I make that slightly different because this one I'm backing up a bit. And that is because I want to keep this bit sharp edge there. I don't want to draw this down. So I want to have that nice definition. Yeah. So that's why I'm backing that one up. But I still want to come to the center of the stuff. Like this. Can come in now. See? There we are. We closed it up like this. And it's in the dead center there. Look at it from this side. You can see here, you're coming to the center there. It's a little bit of fine tuning, but we do that with a rasp. And we can also keep another thing that we are keeping the height of the material like that, because when we are flattening this, there's no way back. So I want to wait until the shoe's ready by flattening it together. If I do that too much now, it's only going to squash together and I'm going to end up with it being thinner than the rest of the section. Now we're going to shape the branch, put my tongs just across the center of the toe, find where the widest point of the shoe is going to be, put that on the top of the beak, hitting on the other side while I'm dropping my hand down. And now the last bit here now, bit important that now I changed my blows to drag this around, because otherwise it'll be really easy to make this bit here too straight. So this is what I'm doing. I'm not just bending it, I'm dragging the material around the bit like this. Now you can see now, come here, you see I got a definite widest point there, and I got the branch ending up from the first nail hole like that. So this will be half my shoe. Shouldn't be too far off. We're going to mark the nail holes, and you can also notice that it's not very twisted. That is because I got the right contact point to the beak and I hit in the right place. Okay, balancing the toe, finding where this is, the widest point is, and there, that's where my last nail hole is coming. I'm going to use 6 nail holes in this one. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to give it that small little heat now. Short heat. When we are punching the nail holes, we don't want it to be too hot, because if it's too hot, then it's going to distort the section, and also going to distort the punch. Even the best of punch will be distorted if it gets too hot. So that's why I'm only doing one blow at a time, so the stamp is as short as possible in the section. There. I put in one, when I put in the pitch on here now, I am starting with 1 pitch on the stamp, and then I'm doing a bit more pitch on the Pritchell. This is because of the shape
of the nail, because it's not straight like that, it's got a curve in it. And another thing as well is that you should think that we are dictated how fine or coarse the nail hole is going to be in the section, because the full ring is already in there. We're going to show you a little trick now, how we can change the coarseness and the fineness. And that is how we hit the stamp. When I put the stamp in, if I hit it now on this corner there, that is going to bring the stamp straight down. Not in this angle, but it's going to get straight down. That's going to make it finer. If I want to make it coarser, I hit on the other side there, which will move the stamp into the section, and then we have a coarser nail hole. So this is like how we can change the nail hole from being fine to coarse, is by hitting on the inside of the stamp, that is fine, on the outside, that is coarser. And we can also do a bit the same with the Pritchell, where we are doing, it's not going to be that efficient, but by angling it more, giving it more pitch, we will also make it coarser. Like that. Well, you can see here now the section is kept quite nicely. It's got a little bit of bulbs here. I'm going to take that off, so it's that minimum. Like that. Okay, so far so good. There. Shouldn't be too far off. Okay, inside now. Good? Yep. Okay, same procedure here. To the center of the stock. The corners. In. 1, 2, 3, 4. Knock them back in together. There. And you see here as well, I got plenty thickness to play with later on. Okay, now we're gonna turn the branch, same thing, widest point on top, down, lowering the hand, twist, and then bringing it, dragging it around like that. And now we're also going to safe it. Loads of different ways to do it. I like to do this on the bend. I feel the way I'm doing it is less distortion here, this side there, and it's also easy to do while I'm shaping it at the same time. So I'm saving myself a bit of work. So when I'm flattening this now, same time I'm just working this edge in, working it down, working it in like this. Now you can see here that is relatively flat, very little distortion. Still got the height, and I got a nice safing off there. If I want more, I can always rasp it in. Okay. I'll put in this mark for the nail holes. Same way, balance the toe,
widest point. Yeah. And there. It's holding up quite well, Grant. Well done. Now we should be quite close to what we measured, and that is just over 12.5. The inside is slightly long actually, and the outside is a little bit longer, about 30. I think it will be alright when by the time I'm finished. Okay, now we're this far. Now we're going to start, now we're going to do what always makes me nervous. We're going to clip it. This always, I think always this is very tricky. But what I do, I keep the outside edge of the concave, outside of the anvil. I tip it up a little bit and I hit there straight in. Try to hit in the same spot and directly 45 degrees to the edge of the anvil. So we get up a little bob like this. That should be enough for this section. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot. And there you go. There, just going to close up the heels a little bit. Angle the clip. Try to remember the shape. Give it a bit of a flattening. Also take this edge off. Yeah. It's like seating out, but not really seating out. It's more like taking the edge off, because when I do that, it's a lot easier to see whether it's flat or not, or level. Okay, that is ready for my first fit. I love using these wise grip tongues for hot fitting, and I used to use a carrying Pritchell, but it does distort the nail holes, and these ones works fine. And it works in all sections as well. Okay, there. Too far off. First, when we are hot fitting, is to get the clip in the right place, and that should be in the center of the toe, dissecting the frog, and down there. This is where and an easy trick is, see, I use my loop knife, but so I can see the center of the tip of the frog, center there, and this is where it's coming. Need a bit more heat, but the toe fits all right. Need to angle the clip a little bit more. It's nice on the inside. The heel is coming in the middle of the section. The outside can be slightly wider at the quarter. Not a lot though, but a little bit. Okay. Good so far. Whew. It's always very it's always a bit exciting, that first go to the foot, isn't it, when you made a shoe, especially in competitions. So okay, this fit is like, I would say this is about 95% of the fit I want. So instead of fitting it up more now, I'm going to give it a good heat and we're going to do a bit of rasping on it, and then I do this last adjustments before I burn it on again. Just going to give it a quick brush. I like to start to rasp the heels from the hoof side. I'll explain why. It's because it's easier for me to see the shape and to get it checked, right place. And if I need to rasp it back a bit, if the shoe's a little bit big, it's easier to blend in the shape of the heel from the other side afterwards. So doing that there. Moving the shoe there. Just brushing the edge off. Not a lot of rasping to do there. Moving the shoe. Same thing, get my heel checks in line with the toe, which means they're going to be in line with the frog. Straighten the clip a little bit. Get that a little bit fine in there. Now, if I need to now, I can rasp the heels flat. Turn it over. You can see I've got roughly the right shape. Just got to line my rasp up now with the shape I made from the hoof side. Save it a little bit more. Got that nicely in. Right on top, edge off. And that's it. Of course you can file and file and file on this one for as long as we want to, but it's going on a horse. And he'll make sure that it's going to be shiny in very, very short time. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to just test nail holes, just run through it while it's quite cold. If I do this when it's warm, too warm, too hot, we're just going to have more distortion. Okay. That was the wrong one. There's a few different nails I would recommend for concave. That is the standard ESL and the ESL with the pitch head. The head is a little bit set to one side. It's the concave nail. It's called concave. It's got a flatter head. These nails are also with a pitch, and they're better in what I would say would be thinner sections. In this case here, this one, I'm going to use my favorite concave nail, which is called EXL. This is my last heat, hopefully. I haven't brushed the shoe a lot before because I haven't really heated it up a lot. I kept it quite cold, meaning that the scale doesn't burn into the material. Let's see where I got my brush. A fine brush. I wanted to bring my outside quarter out a bit. I need to bring the heel in. Make it a little bit more. Make sure I got the right angle of the clip. Yeah. Check level and flat. Always the last thing you do before you go to the foot. I don't think my trimming is a lot flatter than that anyway. Toe is okay, side and the quarter is okay. Little bit tight at that heel there, slightly a little bit. I'm gonna bring that heel out. It's just a millimeter, not a lot. Now, what I'm looking for is that I'm fitting to the center of the section. Really a tight fit. This also goes when you are doing hunter fitting. That is just the shape of the heel and the length of the heel that makes the difference. It's still in the center of the material. There we go. I'm happy with that. You happy with that, Julia?
Yeah, that's all right.
Cheers. Okay. Gonna shine off a little bit. Just for the go bit. Okay. That's it. Okay, to the foot. What I really like about this now is that, okay, apart from that, you can see now that I left the foot long enough so I could give it a good burn without it being burned into the sole. That is good. I don't like burning into the sole. I don't like sole pressure. I don't like burning into the sole. So now it's just outside, just like a little bit on the outside, all the way around. This always gets a little bit annoyed if I pull his foot out too far. That's why I'm doing it this way. I'm compromised. It's not the safest or the most comfortable way for me, but this old bugger likes it. He doesn't like it pulling his legs. There. It's hot in the sun, so I am happy that we are almost finished now. I'm in there, and then the clip nicely in. If we've done our clenching proper, they will be strong. We can see the top of the, what I call top of the clench. And this tool here is really nice. But remember one thing when you're using sanding units or any sanding system is that if you haven't done your rasping proper, using this too much is just going to take away foot and make your clenches stand out more. So it's great, but it's still a good rasp finish. It's still the fundamental skill that you need to learn and practice. Like that. Bit of greasy fat there. There we go. Okay, let's have a look at it under here now. There. It covers the heel well. The heel checks are in line with the frog. Nice good fit, no sole pressure. This is going to carry me up in the mountains really well, and hopefully safe both for me and the horse. One little thing I need to add on, and that is, if we don't have the time or when I make the effort, you can buy concave shoes, of course. These ones, they are the Libro Concave. Main thing here is, like, if you're going to fit these nice, to have the skills that you get when you're practicing your shoemaking makes it a lot easier to fit factory made shoes. So you get them in different sections. This is 20 by 10, I guess, which is going to work here perfectly on these hinds. Thank you.